Thinking about moving to Lakeway? Most people first hear about Lakeway and immediately picture something like this. Beautiful homes, hill country views, access to the lake, maybe even golf course living, and a slower, more relaxed pace compared to Central Austin. And most of that is true. But what I've found working with buyers is that Lakeway is one of those areas people don't fully understand until they've actually spent some time there or seriously looked at homes. Depending on what you're expecting, Lakeway can feel like exactly what you dreamed of, or it can feel a little farther out and quieter than you thought. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what it's really like living in Lakeway in 2026, including the lifestyle, the homes, the commute, schools, and the things people tend to love, and the things that surprise them after they move. Hi, I'm Megan Hawley. I'm a realtor here in Austin, and I help a lot of families relocate here from out of state. One of the biggest patterns I see is that people don't just struggle with choosing a house, they struggle with choosing the right area because Austin is not one specific type of lifestyle. Each area feels completely different, even if it's only 20 or 30 minutes apart. And Lakeway is one of the clearest examples of that. It's not downtown Austin and it's not central Austin. Lakeway has its own identity, and people tend to choose it very intentionally because they want something specific out of their day-to-day life. So let's break down what that actually looks like. One of the best ways to understand Lakeway is to think of it less like a suburb and more like a lifestyle community built around the lake and the hill country. Lakeway sits west of Austin near Lake Travis, and the entire area is built around elevation, scenery, and access to outdoor living. So instead of dense city blocks or busy urban streets, what you get here is rolling hills, winding roads, large trees, and neighborhoods that feel more spread out and private. And that really sets the tone for everyday life. People who live here tend to spend more time outdoors. You'll see boating, paddleboarding, golf, hiking trails, and patios as a normal part of the weekly routine. It feels slower in a good way, but that slower pace is also something you have to actually want because Lakeway isn't trying to give you a city lifestyle. It's giving you space, scenery, and breathing room. The housing in Lakeway is one of the reasons people are drawn here in the first place because there's a wide range of options depending on what you're looking for. You'll find everything from custom homes with hill country views to golf course communities, to family neighborhoods with pools and parks, and even lock and leave style homes for people who don't want a lot of maintenance. Now let's talk about home prices. Lakeway tends to sit at a higher price point than many Austin suburbs, but for a lot of buyers, they feel like they're getting a lot more for their money in terms of lifestyle. As of 2026, many homes in Lakeway are landing roughly between the high 600s to mid 700s as a starting point, although that can vary depending on your neighborhood, the views, updates, and proximity to the lake. If your budget is between $800,000 and $1 million, that's where many relocating buyers really start to get excited because you can often find larger homes, more land, pools, hill country views, or neighborhoods with strong amenities compared to what that same budget might buy closer into Austin. And once you move into the luxury category, especially homes with true lake views or waterfront access, prices can climb quickly into the multi-million-dollar range. But what surprises a lot of people is that you can still enjoy the Lakeway lifestyle without needing true waterfront money. But something important to understand is that Lakeway is not one uniform neighborhood. One pocket might feel very luxurious and elevated, another might feel more family focused, and another more relaxed and tucked away. So when people say Lakeway, what they really mean is a collection of smaller communities with slightly different personalities. And that's why it's important to actually explore specific sections, not just the name on a map. One of the biggest considerations with Lakeway is location, because while it offers a lot in terms of lifestyle and scenery, it is pretty far west of Austin. So depending on where you're commuting, the drive can vary quite a bit. If you're working remotely or only commuting a few times a week, most people don't mind the distance at all and actually prefer the separation. But if you're commuting into downtown Austin every day, that's something you really want to think through carefully before making a decision. And what I usually tell buyers is not just think about whether you can make the drive, but whether you actually want that drive to be part of your weekly routine over the long term. Because over time, that becomes part of your lifestyle more than people realize at the beginning of a move. For families, Lakeway is especially attractive because of the school system and overall family-friendly environment. Lake Travis Independent School District serves most of the area, and it's highly rated according to greatschools.org. This is one of the reasons so many relocating families put Lakeway on their shortlist. Beyond schools, the lifestyle here is also very family oriented. You'll find parks, youth sports, community events, and neighborhoods where kids are outside and families are very active in the community. For a lot of relocating families, that combination, strong schools plus a more relaxed lifestyle, is exactly what they're looking for when they leave busier metro areas. What people tend to love most about Lakeway is the overall quality of life it offers. There's a sense of space here that's hard to replicate in more central parts of Austin. You get access to lake life, golf, hiking, and outdoor recreation in a way that becomes part of everyday living, not just something you do on the weekend. There are also great local restaurants, wineries nearby, and enough amenities that you don't feel completely disconnected from the city. For many people, it feels like a balance between nature and convenience, and that is what really draws people here in the first place. Now, like every area, Lakeway does come with trade-offs. The biggest one is location. You are farther out from central Austin, which means more driving if you're regularly going into the city. It also means the lifestyle is quieter, especially in the evenings and during the week, compared to more central neighborhoods. And while many people love that slower pace, others realize they miss the energy and convenience of being closer in. So Lakeway really comes down to lifestyle preference. So what's it really like living in Lakeway in 2026? It's scenic, it's peaceful, it offers a very intentional lifestyle centered around space, nature, and community. But it also requires you to be comfortable with a bit more distance from the city and a slower pace of life. That is really the key takeaway. Because when people move to Austin, the goal isn't just finding a home, it's finding the right fit for how they want their life to feel. Lakeway is one of those areas that can be absolutely perfect for the right person. If you're thinking about moving to Austin and you want help figuring out whether Lakeway or any of the surrounding areas fit your lifestyle, feel free to reach out. You can schedule a call with me in the link below. And if you want more honest breakdowns of Austin neighborhoods and what it's really like living here, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.